Hey, thanks for popping into Larger Curves. We're going to get into the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion review this evening. And I know it's late and I know you're weary, but I had to get this off my chest. I could not go to sleep and lay my head upon the pillow without getting this off my chest because these ladies are making me I'm just so glad that the season is finally over after all of everything, that we're getting to the reunion and that people are going to get to say what they need to say. Okay. And hopefully we as viewers are going to get what we need also from the reunion on the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's been a really good season to me anyway. So go ahead. Again, thanks for watching Larger Curves. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Okay. And then I'll appreciate it. I really will appreciate it. And then you'll be able and do that notification thing. So like if I do post a video or something, then you can find out. Okay. Again, and thanks. Okay. Anyway. So hellos. They started with the hellos as always. Hello. Right. And all the ladies look beautiful. The two things that stood out to me about the hellos were Candace's hate blocker, love spreader prop. Loved it. Loved it. I love a good prop, and that was really cute, and it was color coordinated. Loved it. And also, I loved Robin's hair. I loved Robin's little pattern in her hair thing. That was nice. That was really nice. I really liked that a lot. Okay, and then we went on to flashbacks, and they were showing previous weaves, and that was hilariously entertaining, seeing how all the ladies have evolved, and while they still look very young, like seeing how, bodies change over a couple of years, and a couple of kids sometimes. Anyway, and then Karen went right on to bagging on Giselle's style, as she spent the entire year just bagging on that lady's style. And I think Karen was bagging on Giselle so hard to keep the focus off of whatever she did to her face. I don't know. She said she did a little something to make her nose do a little something. But I don't know. It was extreme. The amount of shade that and she's like, yeah, it's just good, healthy shade, darling, whatever. I'm here for the grand dam, but I grand dam don't sometimes get why she's always up Giselle's tutor. And also, she's always trying to steal that lady's shine. Later on in the reunion, when it did come time for Giselle's turn, Karen was right there to suck the shine off Giselle. Watch. Go back and watch. Anyway, I'm rambling already. So Karen's venom at Giselle's style. And then we go on to Candace, and how we see how she's grown up. And then we went on to our singing. Andy and his good shady ass was asking about the singing and started the second little tiff, actually, because Ashley's forehead did butt in yet again because she's the one that has to steal the shine off of Candace. And in the flashback, we got to see a little bit about how Ashley was actually who brought in Candace, and now they can't stand each other. It seems to run in the relationships because we're going to get to the other flashback, which was Monique was brought in by that Charisse, right? Who she hates, right? Whose Rolodex she gaffled that year, right? And remember, Charisse was done with Monique. And then Charisse ended up off the show and Monique got to stay. And when everybody was talking about stuff, it was Charisse's name that came up initially, and some friend of Monique supposedly were the initial people that were trying to plot against Monique. Anyway, that's a little ramble, a little for later. But Candace is not as bad as Ashley. That's also what the flashback showed. But then we get into colorism. That was the one serious topic that they did, was on colorism, right? So, and Wendy was here for the topic. And Wendy's good commentator self, Wenda Osafo. I love her. I think she's been a great addition as a housewife to the season. I love the Nigerian flavor that she's bringing. I love her beautiful black family. I love her smartness. And I love that she was ready to have the serious talks with these other ladies about the colorism that she has felt and noticed as a sane person on the show, okay? Because, and specifically with Ashley, and Ashley showed herself again. Obviously, Michael's Karen tendencies are rubbing off on Ashley with this whole using dog whistles to always describe the dark skinned ladies as aggressive and divisive and all this other stuff, right? Anyway, Ashley's forehead needs to go sit down and whatever. Anyway, so I like that little interaction. Wendy was here blow for blow with Ashley, trying to act like, well, if you do it, whatever. And then we finally come back around to Candace finally admitting that she does use her words well, and that sometimes her words are to her detriment. And her Twitter rants are too much, okay? Also, Candace is in grad school. She's coming for those 4 degrees, Wendy. She coming for those 4 degrees because your girl already got the degrees. And so she's coming for your 4 degrees. Okay, I think it's beautiful. I love educated Black women. I love educated people. And it's beautiful that these women happen to be educated, Black, and fabulous. I love it. I love it. Are you here for it? I'm here for it. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Anyway, then right after we talk about congrats on the new house and on being in grad school, we have a hot mic moment with Monique projecting some more BS about how Candace hasn't taken accountability. But the show that I watched, you're going to have to, the show that I watched shows that Monique's the one that has yet to take accountability. Anyway, and then on the hot mic moment, not only was she projecting and her anger some more, but she was also starting the whole thing about who spread what rumors. And she threatened her binder of BS. You know, the binder that she brought with the tabs and everything. And then she starts talking about Giselle and Jamal. And the girls don't like him. Wait, was that Andy that started? Yeah, I think. No, that was Monique. Wasn't that Monique that first did it? And then Andy followed it up. But we have to address how everybody saw that Giselle's children do not care for Jamal. And that's their biological father, because they know what he put her through, right? And that Giselle's father doesn't like him either. And she has to make excuses, she has to make excuses for Jamal's absence all the time and has to try to explain herself. And immediately, as soon as it's Giselle's turn to talk, here comes Karen's venom, right? Just suck the shine and gonna get all into what she knows and her word on the street. And, you know, the Grand Dame has been in the streets, huh? Might want to check your image. Anyway, that's not your lane, really, Grand Dame. The streets isn't your lane, Grand Dame. Stay in your lane. Why are you all over in Giselle's lane in the streets and everything? Why are you checking for Jamal? You know? Anyway. So they go into what the Karens heard on the street about Giselle's Jamal and his alleged relationships. And you know what? Karen basically took over that interview. And I believe that was a green tab moment from the binder of BS from Monique. Because the same things that Giselle is being told by Karen are the things that Monique immediately, like they're like a tag team of chihuahuas on Giselle's ankles or something, like she's a gazelle. These are like hyenas on her hindquarters with this tit-a-tat-tat on her hindquarters with Jamal this and Jamal that. And the word on the street from Karen is one ankle. And then here comes good old Monique to the other ankle talking about, and it's right here on page 93. Anyway, but I'm glad that the self-proclaimed hood member Monique Samuels, had time to make her binder full of lies and BS. But, there's been more than one occasion now that it's come out that Monique circle friends, news, out, public, her camp tells the people, allegedly. Did you get that? Yeah, I said it like that because there have been many times where it seems like the people that have information that only Monique had from her camp somehow mysteriously give this information away, and but it always leads back to information that she only had, supposedly, allegedly. Anyway, I've been paying attention. And it's free. I've been paying attention because it's free. I've been paying attention. Anyway, we're going to hurry up and finish this up. Monique and the Darbys both have a tendency to kind of throw rocks and then hide their hands. You know, we've seen that happen again. And you can tell that Monique and Karen were tag teaming Giselle's hindquarters like that because did you see that look of like satisfaction on Monique's face? The smizing said it all. Her smizing said it all at not only Giselle's being so uncomfortable, but at the delivery of the information, right? And then Karen and Giselle kind of were like, what, you know, Giselle is great at pretending like she has no idea that you were just speaking English to her. And, you know, she really she does it so great. She doesn't flinch or anything. I love it. Anyway, then what else? What's the motivation behind Monique and her binder of lies? I mean, besides she had time. What's the real motivation for trying to get all this information on people for something that didn't even happen is the point. You know, the lady does protest too much is my thinking on this. If you think about this whole entire situation from Candace to now Giselle, it's also projected, right? And we see in the previews for next week, because that pretty much sums up what happened, because Giselle doesn't really get to answer any of the questions and they keep talking for her pretty much. And then, cause Monique, like I said, tag teamed on it. And then I think that they're conspiring also. I don't think Giselle did herself a disservice by not answering Karen or Monique's inquiries into her and Jamal's relationship. Because, you know, you don't have to answer to everybody, especially if the peasants are talking. You don't have to answer to peasants. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to engage crazy. So if these ladies think they have information on what Giselle's life is doing, let them run with that anyway, right? So what else do we have? She doesn't like how, Monique doesn't like how Giselle calls her husband Chris Big Boy. So she called Pastor Jamal, what did she call him? Where did I put that? She doesn't like that he calls him Big Boy, so. Oh, Pastor Holy Whore. She called Jamal Pastor Holy Whore. And she was really just trying for a moment. I felt like that whole thing was Karen and Monique not only getting as much camera time as possible, but also like trying to tear down Giselle, who they obviously see as somebody who, I don't know, people like or something that they go after her so hard. I mean, I know Giselle can be messy or whatever, but that was like really unwarranted. And that was like all out of left field. Like, why were they planning that until reunion to come after Giselle so hard? I don't know. And like I said, it's still so displaced because Monique is very upset that they were coming for her family. And that's what she already whooped Candace about, right? That they were coming for her family. And it's been some years. If you go and look at any of the lives that Monique is done, then it's something about that and how it's been years in the making and we don't know the whole thing, and at the reunion it's going to come out. But all that's coming out is that it's looking a little crazy. It's looking a little crazy for you to be mad at people for something that you've even said started 2 years ago, and that it all just came to a head. But it started with Sharice, who brought you on the show, and your friend who knew your personal business. And nobody's talked about that personal trainer you were supposedly having the affair with much more after you started with all of this, oh, they're trying to break up my family and stuff. And I think that's horrible. I don't want anybody going after anybody's family or anything, allegedly, right? So I just think that it's really displaced. And it's a big overreaction. How are you going to threaten to whoop Candace last year because something we didn't know about behind the scenes that you knew about? And when you threatened to drag her the first time when you were pregnant, and now really dragged her, and then figured since you were fired, you may as well do even more damage and try to hurt her humanness some more, and then write a song about dragging somebody, and then and then countersue the assault, and now be on the show attacking Giselle's whole thing, all over something that never happened. Never happened. Because they were gonna. It never happened because you had the conversation, supposedly, allegedly, but it never happened. Anyway. So I just think that it's very telling indeed, that somebody, being Monique and now Big Boy, you can see he's worked up in the clip for next week. He's very worked up. Somebody's gonna have to talk about my family. You're talking about my family. Yeah, I know, but it happened 2 years ago. And you've been sitting around these people for 2 years, no problem. And now somebody's gonna have to talk about my family. But yeah, it's just not 2 and 2 is not making 4 in this situation. There's something else going on. And on that note, I've taken more of your time. Be sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves. See you in the next review. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your view on all of this. I know I rambled and I was all over the place, but I think you get the whole gist. And I'm looking forward to being able to share my review of Real Housewives of Potomac, regardless of the time of day, next Sunday. And I hope you have a fabulous week and you stay blessed and you stay informed and you stay entertained. And yes, okay? See you next time. Peace.